Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome back to Conversations with Karina. So let's get started with our divine prayer. Divine light, surround me now. Shield my mind, heart, and spirit from all harm, doubt, and negativity. Guard my intuitive gifts and the visions I receive, keeping them clear, pure, and truthful. May only supportive energies from the highest vibrations flow through me and guide my understanding. Protect my insights from distortion, fear, ego, or unwanted interferences. As I hold my crystals, they anchor me in peace and strength, grounded in the highest vibrations of love and wisdom, all the way down to the core of Mother Earth. Thank you, Source, for the shield of divine protection that surrounds me always, allowing me to share my intuitive truth with courage and compassion. And so it is. So I wanted to come on today and give everybody a little bit of an update and talk about some of the events of the week. I wanted to tell everybody a little bit about my eye and what's been happening. And first, let me say thank you, thank you, thank you to all the people that have been sending me Reiki, have been sending me healing. I really appreciate it. Forgive me, I'm a little stuffy today. It's now hitting my sinuses a little bit. But thank you, everybody, for all of the outpouring of love and healing. It's me right here. I'm so appreciative of it, and I can feel all that. So thank you so much. And it has made a difference in just even the way I feel. I am still dealing with this issue, and I wanted to tell everybody, and first, even let me say one more thing that I am still behind on emails and a few projects, so please forgive me. I'm really, really having a hard time focusing on um, you know, the computer close up or texting close up. It's just still a little painful, so I can only do a little bit at a time. So I am still very behind. Thank you for your patience. Not that I've forgotten about you, and I will always get back to you, but it may be still a little bit. So thank you for understanding. All right, let me update you on the eye. So I did go in on Tuesday and I did get to see the specialist. And I kind of had a feeling how this visit was going to go intuitively. I already, in my mind, had gone through the visit and pretty much knew I was going to come out of there a little frustrated. I tried not to project that day, but I kind of already knew the feeling. And I wasn't frustrated because I had seen the specialist. She's a retina specialist. She's very good at her profession, but she is a retina specialist, and that's all they look at. And so I did get my retina looked at. Everything was good. There was no additional tear. Everything from the previous surgery looked good. So I'm so grateful for that. So grateful. But sadly, it didn't address why I'm having all this pain and my eyeballs hurt. They're sore, they hurt, they feel big, they feel swollen, I feel all this pressure. Sometimes it's sharp pain, sometimes it's dull, sometimes it's like my eyes just hurt. And I couldn't get any answers about that. It was, sometimes this happens. And it's like, we're not really concerned about it until it's 3 or 4 times it's happening. Well, it's never gone away for me. It's been like this since May. And I had a feeling that when I came out of there, not going to have the answers that I wanted. So I knew I was going to have to pursue this a little farther. They did give me some drops, but they're steroid drops, and I've taken steroids before, and they don't always agree with me. And so I'm really reluctant to put those in my eyes. And if you're a person with asthma, steroids doesn't always do well. And I have had trouble taking steroids before, so I'm a little reluctant to do that. And also, I came out going, there is a, intuitively, I know there's something else going on, and I need to get to the root of the problem. And I don't want to mask it until I find the root of the problem because it doesn't answer any of the questions about why I'm still dealing with what I'm dealing with. And I did end up talking to a friend of mine who has knowledge of all this kind of thing. And she's also very intuitive. And we were looking at the symptoms, and she had a aha moment where I could have this condition that she knows of from working with the brain and that kind of thing, the nerves behind the eyes. That's what kept coming up in our conversation. It was the nerves of the eyes. And so there are a few conditions out there, and one of them was it's called BVD, binocular vision dysfunction. And I'm not saying I have it, but I do have all the symptoms, and I have had for a very long time. And it would make sense to what's been going on. So we ended up finding a place in where I live here in Arizona that tests for not just retinas, they go behind the eye, they're neuro ophthalmologists. And so that's where I'm heading next week. I have a call in and a consultation, and hopefully I can get in quickly. And maybe, because if it is something like that, it's basically they make you prism lenses because it's where that condition is where your eyes are out of balance, which for me would make absolutely so much sense. And they look at it if you've had a stroke, if you've had head injuries, neck injuries, that kind of thing. Well, I haven't had a stroke, but I've had the Bell's palsy on the side and still have the residuals. So, and that was my son's 25, so that was 25 years ago that I got it. And I was in several car accidents before I was even age of 5, so I've had injuries. And it would make a lot of sense with when I did my research on this issue. But it isn't the only issue they test for. They do a lot other testing. So I feel really good getting in there. I feel like I finally might get some of the answers that I need and can move on from this issue. Today is actually the first day that I'm even feeling up to doing this video. I just haven't been able to, even after Tuesday's appointment, I've just been in pain this whole time, and it's taking its toll on my body. It's depleting my resources, my energy. I just am having a hard time coming out of this because I'm so exhausted. And then on top of it, I'm working on releasing my own traumas and what's going on in the world. We all know I pick that stuff up. So I feel like I've had a triple whammy coming at me that I've been dealing with. Now, here we are into the events of the week because I think that that has triggered so much. And on top of it, we were all already dealing with so much. But, and I know you've probably all heard many people's opinions by now of the events of the week, but I'm going to give you mine as well because I feel like Spirit does want me to share a little bit of it. And I don't want to go into too much. Um, I just want to tell you what came to me. This is my own personal opinion for entertainment purposes only. I would just like to tell you what came to me. So, after the events of Wednesday, when there was what I would call an assassination in this country, um, it hit many people in different ways, obviously. I was actually working with clients Wednesday, and in between a client, I saw a headline that there had been a shooting. But I don't really know, I know of the person, but I don't really know much about him. And I didn't see, I just saw there was a shooting. So I finished my workday, and my son comes in and he's like, Mom, have you heard the news? And I said, Well, did it have to do with the shooting? And he's like, Oh yeah, it was a full-on assassination. What? Immediately, something didn't sit right with me. I just felt something's not right. Before I wound down for the night, I just happened to see a family photo of Kirk and his family. I'd never seen his spouse before or anything. So that night, I go to sleep, I have a dream. And in the dream, it was Trump. And I get a little nervous telling this because it was just, another one of those creepy things you don't want to see. But anyway, Trump was raging, just raging. And we were in this scene of, it was like his ballroom, the golden ballroom, the, it was a combination of that looked like that, the Oval Office, and yet he was on this balcony that looked over his people. And I would call them, the people he was looking at was his hardcore MAGA cult. And he was spewing hate. Like I could see him raging. That's what, as me in the ballroom, I could see him just raging and reds coming out his eyes, his mouth, forked tongue kind of feeling, seeing that. So that's what I'm witnessing. But as he's talking to his people, what his people are hearing come out of him is basically a call to action. For what happened on Wednesday, he wants more of that. He's calling his people to now create massive fear, violence, anything that they're willing to do. That was his call. So then he turns around back into the ballroom after spewing all this onto his people. And he turns around with this grin on his face, this evil grin. That was all an act. That was all an act to his people. And when that grin, when he turned around, proved that it was basically go do this. So he's projecting that onto his people, turning around with this shit-eaten grin on his face. Then it takes me to a scene where Kirk's widow, because she's now a widow at this point, was sitting in the corner crying, and Cheeto Head's behind her, looking at her, smirking with a grin. And he's in his mind, he's saying, sorry, you poor bitch. Things like this have to be done. As he's, oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry for your loss. What the hell? And I knew in that moment it was a setup. My opinion for entertainment purposes only. This isn't entertainment whatsoever, but they make us say stuff like that because I knew in that moment what the hell just happened. And I didn't see all the people that did it, but it just took me right back to that incident in Pennsylvania that his ear magically grew back after he was shot. Yeah, no. The scene looked the same, the people looked the same, and now we're seeing all these videos that there's a lot of shady stuff that was going on before anything happened. Even things that were tweeted out, things you may have found on Amazon. I mean, a lot of weird stuff has happened. But Spirit gave me the message of why they would choose him, why it was him. Couple, many reasons, many reasons. But one of the main reasons, because there's many reasons behind the scenes that we're not even going to put together all that, at least not me. I'm going to get the bigger picture every time. So he was the perfect person in their eyes. Because let me just say, it wasn't just one person who was involved in this. This one person of Trump never carries out his own doings. He always has other people do it for him. But he was chosen because he did advocate for gun violence. Everything this man has said, whether it's about little girls or, yeah, some people are going to have to die for us to have the Second Amendment. He was willing for it to be others, but that'll never happen to me. Well, you kind of wrote your own ticket that way, didn't you? I'm sorry. Violence is never the answer. But when you're the one advocating for it, it may come your way. So, in that respect, he was the perfect one because it was an easy propaganda machine to follow. And that happened within literally, it felt like minutes. It was definitely within the hour. They were already projecting the left, the left, the left. So it was a perfect propaganda machine to use somebody like him because he advocates for gun violence and they could just use it to say, well, that's why somebody went after him. So he was an easy choice for what they needed to create. Also, he was advocating for the Epstein files to be released. Another big reason to make him the target. They do not want that information coming out. And it's a fear tactic to the others that are advocating for it. This could happen to you. So he was the perfect choice. There's many reasons why they chose him. And now I'm going to talk about the timing of it because the timing of it is tied to the Epstein thing creates it, hopefully for them, another distraction. That's they now they can just talk about this poor man who's a martyr hero. No. When we start martyring and heroing people that advocate hate, we have a problem. And the beauty of all this is people's eyes were open. They're not being bamboozled again. That word comes up again. They're not being bamboozled this time. I mean, right away, things were flowing that this isn't, doesn't look right, something's not right. So again, their narrative really didn't work the way they thought it would work. It has created more division, yes, and they do want that. But they need that to keep people apart because we were gathering. And so the timing of all this for me is Trump took away Kamala's security. She's about to embark on a book tour with massive energy behind her. She's the real president. He knows that. This is all energy, and the Epstein things, the release of all that, they have to try and stop that. There has to be a way to stop all that. It's getting closer and closer. So things are getting more challenging and more challenging and more fearful and a little scary. It is a little scary. It there's no other way to say it. It is one of those things they want to do is create fear and panic. So I just want to say I'm pretty sure you've all heard it by now, but to me it was a setup, and they have many reasons to do it. And sadly it could still happen. These things could still happen. And I do think the next couple weeks are going to be crazy. I do. I do. I feel like there's a lot of things that are going to happen, a lot of intensity. I can feel it. I've been experiencing it. And I know you probably all out there have been too. To me, it feels like a roller coaster. I mean, today is the first day that I have even felt I could even do a video. I mean, I just haven't felt good. So I imagine a lot of you are feeling that too. So that's what I wanted to say about that. There's no reason to keep dwelling on it because I just wanted you to know how my take on it. And like I said, you've probably already heard all the takes on it, but I did want to pass that along. Spirit is telling me that we're getting closer. I know it doesn't feel like it doesn't look like it, but the reason all these things are ramping up so big and why it feels so heightened is because I really feel like we're about to embark on some changes. That's what it feels like to me. And I just want to stay in that place where we do see the changes and we believe the changes because I'm not going to lie, these last few weeks, and I feel like the next couple weeks are very intense energy that up until the last, actually the ninth, when the portal, the the eclipse or the full moon, whichever one it was, the red moon, yes, blood moon, I think. The emotions were insane. But it's funny, it took me back to old patterns and old beliefs and old mindsets that I thought I had cleared or wasn't in that place, but I could feel that energy trying to pull me back into it. And it was a battle to stay out of it. And there was about a week there that I fell into it. And I talked to many others who did too. We just kept feeling like we were being pulled back or trying to be pulled back into this time frame. And it was like just staying out of it and not letting them pull you back into those old patterns and beliefs because it was so harsh. But I also believe a lot of that's coming up because we were releasing. We're all releasing. And through all the sessions that I've had with clients lately and energy work that I've done, we are in a massive time of cleansing on this planet, especially abuse, abuse of women, abuse in general, abuse of people. But it really is a lot of in the feminine in women right now, because obviously, with the whole Epstein thing, that's being in our face because we're meant to finally start to clear this kind of behavior and abuse and stand up to it. It can't be okay. We can't live in that anymore. And I think the women that are here on this planet at this time have endured so much abuse, especially, I'm going to say the generation that's, I'm going to say 50 on up, but I notice a lot in 60, 70, and 80. Those poor women have had to endure so much. But I honestly want to tell you that Spirit shows it to me in a way that you're the true warriors. I know, forgive me for making it sound like what you went through was what you needed to go through. No, but it is something that, okay, Spirit wants me to say it this way. We're all here on this planet right now to help clear all that generational stuff. So the ones that had to go through it so badly, the reason you did and the reason it's here in this time frame now, because we're ending cycles, we're ending generational cycles. These things have been in our generation, women, for generation after generation after generation, I'm finding. So the ones that are here now that have had it so hard, you really are the true warriors. You're the ones that came down to endure this, to be in this time frame right now to help release this generational karma so we don't continue this behavior going into the new times, the new earth, the new world. None of that is there. This kind of behavior is not there. We have to stop it. It's not okay anymore. It's can't be considered the norm. And why do you think this pull of these men that are fighting right now to stay in power, who do you think they all are? What have they done to women? What do they want to do to women? Even somebody that was taken out this week described a situation that he would make his own daughter go through if she was raped at 10 years old. He was willing to force her to carry that to term and raise it like it was her fault. So that mentality has to go away. Are you kidding me? Your own child, but too bad. Happened, too bad. So those things have to be exposed so we can get them the heck out of society. And I don't mean individuals, I mean attitudes, things that have happened that men like that treat as the norm. Mm-mm. We're not going to take it anymore. So the true warriors here on this planet at this time, it is our job to release this and move on from it, that we don't ever have to go through generation after generation after generation of this kind of behavior. It's our turn to break this mold. That's why it's so important to go back and release this trauma. If all that happened to you, don't sit in it. It's not worth reliving it or rehashing it over and over and over. It is worth looking at it, understanding it happened. It was a pattern. It was the people that did it to you, more than likely, 9 times out of 10, they had it done to them. Generation after generation after generation is what I'm saying. And so don't sit in it. Realize those are patterns, those are karmic cycles that happened. I'm here to expose it, I'm here to release it, and we're going to break these karmic cycles. Maybe that helps you get through it a little easier. I know it doesn't release sometimes the pain, but you have to find a modality that works for you that you can release instead of sitting there going, I don't know how to release. I don't know how to release. Figure out how you personally need to release. Whether, I do a lot of energy work with people, that helps a lot. Um, there's people out there that do Reiki. I'm also doing hypnotherapy, and that has been working for me. And it's been also leading into other things that I need to release because it's showing me things, even from a small child, that come up during that hypnotherapy. So find a modality, working with your crystals, working with essential oils, every little bit, certain kind of massages, somatic massage, somatic yoga, some came through, acupuncture, all of these things can help. So find a modality that works for you, that you can start to release these things and not sit in it because it was your existence before. If it's not your reality now, why are you still in it? I'm asking that myself of these old patterns. None of us want to keep reliving old patterns. And all this stuff is in the ethers right now with Epstein and everything to get us to it brings it right up to here so we can release. So if all this trauma has happened and you're sitting in it and you're not doing anything to release it, you're just creating yourself more trauma. If you're doing everything you can and working to release it, you're really helping the collective right now. You really are. You really are. Those are those musical notes that go up to spirit and to the angels. So do what you have to do. Go back and have those conversations and release. And that's all I really want to say about that because spirit just wants us to know what they're just telling me it's what we're going through at this time on this planet. There's no coincidences. They're telling me to keep our eyes on the original prize of what we want to see in this world because we are getting closer. But I also feel desperation and despair in people. And once again, Spirit's asking you to turn the desperation and despair into power. It's almost like I have this scene of somebody had made this comment and it's coming to me. A gentleman left me a comment one time and he said something about glass shards. And I'm sorry if I don't remember exactly what it was, but I'm seeing just we're walking through and just glass shards is like coming at us. It's challenging right now. It is. It's challenging. People are questioning their existences. But Spirit's just telling me, just stay strong in these times because it is a really strong resistance, and we have to stand in our power no matter how many times they do horrific things to pull us apart or make us feel that we're losing and they're winning. It just doesn't do us any good. And I know that myself. And I'm not going to say it's easy for me either sometimes. I still deal with that myself. But pulling ourselves up and into the light is where we have to stay. Many blessings from Spirit. They're actually asking me not to stay on too long because I need my rest. My eye is a little bit more painful. I feel better today, but I can still feel it, and it's stressful when I look into a camera. I'm going to end it here, and I will come on as soon as I can again and talk to you guys just to see how everybody's doing, helping you through these times. I know it's been a little challenging for myself as well. So thank you everybody for being here. I hope everybody's doing okay. And just take care of yourself. Your spirit's saying lots of self-love right now, okay? Lots of self-love, lots of rest. Our energy is just being drained, so lots of rest, okay? Much love, everybody. Thank you and take care. Bye-bye.